Yo, what's going on, boys? How you doing? Papa Ganush, Gravinder, Nils, Optimus, Cordell, Hamza, Ginger, Geshav, what's going on? Yeah, Papa Ganush, that was wild. What a wild day. Very good day, good times during the day. One bad trade during the day, that's about it. What's up, Amelia? Really just keeps you on your toes, this market here. It's a huge rip today, and then a huge dip. Like, it made nothing, a big dip, big rip, and then big dip again. So, what happened today? First of all, we had inflation numbers in the morning. They came in hot. They came in higher than expected. What's up, other Andrew? How you doing? Yeah, it was definitely exhausting. But this morning inflation numbers 8:30 came in very hot. Market took a huge dip. Everyone had open. All the bears got big. They got all excited. They grabbed their puts right at open. You know, they're shorting futures. They're shorting everything, right? Like, the market's toast. Everything's done. What's up, Satsimran? So what does the market do? It screws all of them by ripping the market. We jumped in calls around here. I believe we were just watching for a long time. Took some Tesla calls early in the day. We didn't get through the 9:45, so I did not add to my starter like I told you guys. Other than that, in the morning there wasn't much to do. Then all of a sudden around lunchtime, Sava news hit. We were loaded in that, as I called out. Congrats if you guys caught it. It was a great move. We'll go over that in a bit. Other than that, I mean, inflation numbers were hot, dumped right at the number into open, and then we just ripped every single bear straight out of every single put they had. What's up, Carlos? How you doing? We had a big resistance zone at 457, 458, like I told you on SPY. The first time we went up there, we went right in the middle of the range here. Pre-market, as you can see, very contained within 458. Never once crossed over 458. Yesterday, today, pre-market, ever. And this range is all the way back from February 2nd. So we've been watching this 457, 458 resistance on SPY for a long time. And it has not been able to get through that. Even today, we got through it. This healthy consolidation here, there's rotating into IWM. Then they put in a lower high here. This should have marked the top for us, but no one can see this big red candle on the 5 minute coming. Came down, tested the support once, bear flagged, and then broke through it. Bear flagged, and then broke through it. And just kept, it looked like controlled selling, like big money was selling there. Especially with that hot inflation number. I never expected, no one can tell you they expected what happened today. But I think we traded pretty well, minus that one final Tesla trade. What's up, Ricky? How you doing? So, hope you guys had a good day. Not too bad. Over here, myself, ended the day very green overall, but that last Tesla trade did take a chunk of my green. QQQ, much of the same action as SPY. You guys see, like, we went into the same resistance zone, guys. So for SPY, mark these two numbers. You can draw a range, you can draw a colored box, whatever the hell you want. 457 to 458 on SPY is very tough now. We've been seeing it since February 2nd. And on QQQ, 365.50 to 367 is a very tough range. And you can scroll back, it's the same thing. On pre-market, we got over it. We dipped our heads above it and then dumped right back below it. So QQQ 367 to 365.50, big resistance. SPY is 457 to 458. I've been doing some paper trading, successful in real trading today. I lost about 50 bucks. Was today any weirder than usual? Today was the weirdest day, Tyler. It was a very tough trade today. Most professionals probably got ruined today. I mean, to end up green on a day like today is enough. Obviously, we had huge profits before that damn last Tesla trade that tricked us, but it is what it is. So much focus. My eyes are paining now. Crazy day. Yeah, my eyes pain too as well, bro. But I'm doing post-market, so enjoy it. XLF. I told you guys this yesterday. When a stock gaps up 3 days in a row, I do not touch it for calls ever. Most of the time, I look for the other way. XLF actually gapped up green 4 days in a row. So that is financials as well. This is a spinning top. This marks a reversal, and we could get a possible move like this on XLF now, guys. So just remember that. Even if you take XLF puts, I know Ricky took some XLF puts. I will join him tomorrow, most likely. Other than that, I expect a move on XLF at least down to 40.26. Next level down, 39.83. That's where I would look for support, this yellow line here. And I think we get a move down to there at least on XLF. IWM, full of crap. Like, I don't know how it's leading, but the market was rotating into small caps. We broke out of this little bear flag to the upside, negated it. Look at the daily candle, though. This 207.50 I give you guys every day on post-market. Look, we went into it and then rejected completely underneath it. Now we're right back in the bear flag. If this bear flag is completed, we can move all the way down to 193 on IWM. So keep that number in mind. If the bear flag is still intact, We'll go back down to 193 on IWM. SPX broke, could not take out that 4580, guys, for so long. Yesterday we took it out for a bit. We're just peeking our head above it and then dumping right back below it every time. So yesterday, same story. February 2nd, same story. Yesterday we flagged underneath it all day, broke it at the end of the day, and then right back below it, broke it again, and then gapped down this morning from that inflation number. 4580 remains very, very tough. I had a level at 4490, 4504, and 520. As you guys see here, every time we got down to one of the supports, 4580 held solid. 4520 we got to, big dip underneath, but closed on top, flagged out a bit, then dumped below it. Came back, rejected now from the downside, came back down. Now we're testing 4500, up, down, and then finally broke down. Looked like heavy, but big boys were selling. They were caught on the wrong side today. ES, same thing, 4504 is my support. Finally broke it at the end of the day there. VIX absolutely flew today. I think 21%, around 21%. Obviously, my math is bad at this point in the day. Come on, don't do this to me now. Okay. So VIX. You gonna work or what? There we go. VIX was up 19.83% today, guys. We wanted to see the higher low pattern negate, but it's still intact now, guys. Like, we did go below it yesterday. We closed below it, but look at the bulls on VIX fight back today. So straight up in a row, I mean 19.68% up on the day is no small thing. So we're closed right back above all the moving averages. So VIX is still in a bullish trend here, guys. Higher lows, higher highs. Yields above 2 is very, very bad. So TNX, no dice here. We did not want to see it go over 2. What is going on right now? So yields, big move off that inflation number. Just cruised through the 2 mark, and it's the highest mark we've seen since November of 2019, I believe. August of 2019, guys. So yields up here is no good for tech, no good for growth, and eventually it'll catch up. Even though we get little melt up periods and we catch calls in between, eventually these yields will catch up with the market. And that's what you've seen today. Bitcoin, very risk asset. It's also tied to the yields. TNX higher means Bitcoin lower, so just keep that in mind. I don't think this is going to be the bottom. This 35, we can completely come back and start testing these levels. The first level down would be 43175, then you got 40,500, and then right back down to 35,000. So let's see how Bitcoin reacts overnight and over the weekend. But next week is OPEX. Don't be too bullish, guys. Let's go over some plays. I mean, Apple, bookie took short at the end of the day. It does look like a clear downtrend here. If the indexes want to go down, Apple must go down. As you guys see, big run up, bull flag. And now if we lose the moving averages, the last moving averages is at 170, 120. So Apple below 170, 120 can come visit this line here, which is the ascending, the wedge that we're watching. 166 is the first stop for Apple. If they do want to break these moving averages, 166 at least. And then we're right back in the wedge. Where do we go from there? No one knows. We can go all the way back to the bottom of the wedge around 146. So I do like his Apple puts. I'll probably jump in tomorrow if we do get a gap up or something abnormal tomorrow. I just want to see how we open tomorrow before I make any decisions on new put positions. Google, we closed the entire gap from earnings. Looked like a little relief bounce here, and now we're right back down at that level, 27.55, just a level to watch. I'm not interested in a entry yet because we're right underneath the moving averages. I want to see the 200 catch up a little bit, and then I'll take Google, maybe end of Feb, starting of March or something. We'll see. After this OPEX next week, that's when I'm going to start taking long-term positions. Before that, I'm not interested in any calls long-term. Other than that, I mean, Google, great earnings, great stock, long-term, can't go wrong. I'm not interested in it long-term yet. I think we'll get it cheaper next week. NVIDIA gave up all the gains from today. But if you guys noticed, I took 300 calls for March 4th on NVIDIA, knowing that they would jack up the earnings premium sooner or later, right? We took them for 188. These, even though NVIDIA went straight down today, gave back almost all of yesterday's gains, those calls are still above $4, guys. You're still up over 150% on those calls. And I will be looking to add, if we get back down to the bottom of this channel, I'll probably add more NVIDIA. those 300s, just because I know how the premium works in them now. I've been watching them for a long time, as you guys know. Other than that, there's nothing to say. SE giving back all the gains. Those 170 calls were in the money, guys. This is not over yet. I'm not gonna say like SE is gonna come revisit the lows here, because I don't know if it will. It might, but for right now, it's still in the pattern. Like, there's no reason to be too afraid yet, is all I'm saying. We have the low, we have the lower high. Now we have a higher low here. Now we have a higher high as well. So as long as SE stays above 140.36 here on this pullback, as long as we stay above 140.36, this is now a daily uptrend, and that would be a higher low. That's all you need to be watching, and all the charts are like this. Almost all the charts, guys. SE is the same. SQ, I believe, is different. Now let's go UPST. I know a lot of bears are going to be frothing at the mouth after today's action, but all we have here is a low, a lower high, a higher low, and now UPST needs to go take out 120.75 to confirm the daily trend change. Same thing with a bunch of these names, guys. I mean, SQ didn't quite do it because it's just at a low. There's no higher low yet. I can't even think right now. Holy crap. But you guys know what I mean. So LC, another example. You got the low, you got the lower high, you got the higher low. So as long as these stocks don't come down and take out these lows right here, we're still in a higher low pattern, guys. So just remember that before you start getting too bearish and taking $100 Apple puts 6 months out, okay? That's all I'm saying. Right now, today's action was definitely bearish. The inflation number was definitely bearish. They're probably gonna hike interest rates for sure now because the inflation's so high. And the job numbers are good, so it's almost 100% certainty they're gonna hike rates. Let's go over Tesla. So Tesla, we hit this maybe 20 times in the last week. Why do I play Tesla? It's very easy to play. It looked very, very strong in the beginning of the day. Huge volume was coming in, guys. This is what catches my eye in the mornings when I'm watching stocks. Huge volume was coming in Tesla, and I was watching very closely. I told you guys 945 was my key number. I have an alert set on it right here. We didn't quite get to there, but I took a starter position in next week's calls. They're down now, obviously. You guys were up 40% if you wanted to take profit. But again, it was a starter position. I basically treat a starter position as a lotto. So it's lotto size. I'm comfortable with it going to zero. If it goes over 945, I would have loaded the boat on it. Did not get over 945. It stopped at 943.81. Came back down. We hit scalps on almost every single bounce. Yash hit it here. I think I was playing Sava at this time. And a bunch of times over here. The last scalp that I took that failed was right at this level. We were right around here, I believe. And SPX was actually at 44.90, which was my key support level. They flushed SPX right through there, so I let it go. But then they bounced it right back above, so I took it again, and I took a small gain on that one. So overall, Tesla's a money-making machine. We're going to hit this a bunch of times in the next 2 weeks, especially if the market stays like this, like where we see high of day and then low of day immediately. You're going to have to scalp, guys. Like, they're killing puts, they're killing calls. You just have to be in and out quickly as possible. Other than that, I mean, we will get a swing trading. We will get a healthy market eventually, but it's not right now. Perry, great recovery from yesterday's earnings. Held the 50-day very well. We came down and almost touched the 50-day exactly. Bounced nice, took out yesterday's high, and we closed near the high of the day. So this is a positive day for Perry. Especially with those earnings are cash flow positive, they're probably going to get acquired, and I think it goes up more. Dawkins, same thing. We were all happy this morning. Look at Dawkins, absolutely ripped. Just crushed yesterday's high. I think Turkey had like 150, 200% on this Dawkins. So congrats to him. But like I told him in the chat, Dawkins, SE, UPST, all these growth names, I treat them all the same. They're all the exact same play to me. And it's the same story on this one. So we put in a low, we put in a lower high, higher low, higher high. Now we're looking for a lower low to get a re-entry into Dawkins. Great company. They're going to crush earnings, I think. The rest just depends on the market. UPS, again, there's no need to go over this chart every single day. The reason being it's a weekly play. I mean, it's a play on the weekly. So what I'm waiting for here is just follow through. That's all you need to do. We broke a huge resistance. We're holding up well. As long as we're above 214 on UPS, this play is it's in place. So there's no way to get out unless we're below 214. We have over a month left on these calls, so I'm not too worried about those. Shopify, we took a little lotto here. I mean, $1,000 calls were cheap. I took them for 95 cents. Complete lotto. If they go to zero, they go to zero. No big deal. Made money on other stuff. CRM, I did cut half my calls, but it's still setting up the exact way that we've been talking about for weeks, guys. CRM still setting up that inverse head and shoulder. We're looking for a move up to 230 at least. And after that, earnings premium is going to start kicking into these calls. This is what you have to understand, guys. I've played this. I know what I'm doing. NVIDIA 300 calls for March 4th. I took them at $1.88. The next day, the stock did not move at all. Those calls went up 100%. Why? Because the market maker made a mistake. He added the earnings premium in later. So that's the same thing that's going to happen with CRM. I'm pretty positive. We have those calls from $1.68. As soon as the market maker realizes the earnings are on March 1st, he's going to add like 50 to 60% of those calls himself. So that's what I'm waiting for on CRM. Other than that, I still held half my position. Sava, amazing move. Look where it stopped, guys. I've been telling you this Sava for 2-3 weeks now. High risk, high reward play. There's a big short interest. There is a lot of big money jumping into Sava calls and selling Sava puts, which is the most bullish thing you can do. And I mean, what more do you want? It went from 47 to 62.50 today, guys. All my call options went almost 8x. A lot of people in the group hit 100, 200, 300, 400%. My equity that I loaded in, I sold a bunch at 60, so that was solid as well. And look where it stopped. Like, technical analysis is not a joke, guys. There's a huge short interest in this name. Very good news. We stopped right at the top of the wedge. We stopped right at the 200-day moving average, which is at 62.92. We went up to 62.50 today. Complete rejection. I do expect more movement from Sava. If this market turns even a little bit bullish, I think Sava will get tighter and tighter and break through this wedge. And we'll see where it goes from there. Other than that, I mean, I hope you guys had a great day. If you ended today green, consider yourself lucky, because I bet you 90% of Twitter ended red today. So be happy. Market will clear up, but for right now, there's a lot of chop. We're going to be scalping a lot. So thank you guys for attending. I'll see you tomorrow.